This Easy Work Boxing, about to hit you everywhere but under your feet with this one. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the videos. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please. This is a video for Mikey Garcia versus Robert Easter Jr. Or you can say Robert Easter Jr. versus Mikey Garcia, whichever way you want to put it. But Mikey Garcia is 38-0. Robert Easter is 21-0. Now, this fight I've been waiting on for a minute. I want to see Mikey Garcia step up and unify the belts at the division that he is, that whichever one he decides to be at, because he can move up to 140, 135 like it ain't nothing. But you know, Robert Easter been calling this man out for a long time, saying that he wanted to unify with this man. And so, you know, finally this fight is happening. They say they both signed the contracts. We'll have to see if everything goes through. But you know, in my former videos, I've always said that Mikey Garcia is a weight bully, which is one of my reasons why he beat Lipinez. And, you know what I'm saying? And at one point, I think he vacated the belt and went back down in weight. I ain't sure, but I think that's what he did. But that's neither here nor there, because now we got a potential great matchup between these two. Now, Robert Easter got a longer reach than Robert Garcia. Not Robert Garcia, that's his brother, Mikey Garcia. Robert Easter reaches at 76 inches. Garcia's is at, 68. Now, that's going to play a major factor in this fight. You know, if Robert Easter uses his reach and stands back and fight Mikey Garcia, we never know what the outcome can be. You know, this is a 50-50 fight, in my opinion, because Robert Easter can fight in the inside and he can fight going backwards and staying in the outside. But Mikey Garcia is no joke as far as being a technician. Mikey Garcia is superb as far as being a technician. You know, his brother was a champion, Robert Garcia. And, you know, I know they trained him to the best of their ability to go out there and win fights, especially with what I seen against Adrian Broner. You know, I seen one thing when he was fighting Adrian Broner where with Broner's right hand, he would keep throwing his left up to Broner's right hand to stop him from throwing his right hand. And, you know, a lot of people didn't see that in that fight, but he's very technical. He's very smart in the ring. Now, I went on Boxing Rec, and, you know, I looked on both of their fighting, you know, resume. Mikey Garcia has fought a lot of fighters with losses. You know, he's only fought 2 undefeated fighters, and that was Lipinez, and that was a guy named Matt Rimlinard. He was 23-0, and, you know, Lipinez, he was, 13-0 at the time. So he hasn't fought a lot of undefeated fighters, and a lot of the fighters that he fought has had a lot of losses. In fact, Robert Easter hasn't fought that many fighters with losses. You can go on Boxing Rec and check this out for yourself. But I think that jab will really play a big favor for Robert Easter, depending on what his game plan is. One thing I will say is once Robert Easter gets hits in the face or get hit in the face by Mikey Garcia, he may switch up. He may want to go into that, trying to go to the body and work in the inside, because he's good at that too. He works well inside and out. But that would be the wrong thing to do against Mikey Garcia, because Mikey Garcia will be waiting for you to come in, and he will multiply punches and catch Robert Easter Jr. And I've seen him against the fight in Fortuna. When he was fighting Fortuna, Robert Easter, Fortuna was hurting him. You know, in my opinion, Fortuna did a real good job against Robert Easter, but at the same time, you have to beat the champion clearly. You go out there and win on points and punches, but Robert Easter was a champion. You have to knock him on his ass, and which he did, you know, drop him, but they didn't count it. You know, nobody didn't count it, you know what I'm saying, but they didn't count it. But at the end of the day, when you fighting a champion, you don't have a belt. You got to go out there and literally destroy the champion. So me saying how I felt about that fight is neither here nor there. At the end of the day, he still got the win. He didn't get knocked out or anything like that. So the man is still the champ. And, you know, I'm happy that Mikey Garcia has stepped up. You know, I heard certain things that he said about Terrence Crawford, and he was saying that Terrence Crawford is a great fighter, but Terrence Crawford needs that big name fight, and that no matter who he took the belts from, these are fighters that no one knows. Me, I don't personally agree with that. I feel like the fighters that he has fought good enough to obtain belts, so they are not rookies and they are not cab drivers. You know, these guys are not easy to beat, for one, and he went out there and he became the undisputed champion. With Mike Garcia, you have to do the same thing that you were just talking about. You're a great fighter yourself, but now it's time for you to show the world a big name. And though Robert Easter is not really a household name like Adrian Broner, which he did defeat Adrian Broner. So this is his chance. This is Robert Easter's chance to get revenge for his homeboy. Because, Robert Easter and Adrian Broner are very close. Robert Easter was at one point signed to AB Promotions, but I think he decided to step out and find new management. I'm not sure, but from what I understand, he's not really under the AB banner anymore. But this will be a good fight to, still go back out there and, get revenge for his friend Adrian Broner. And it's just time for Mike Garcia to step up to the plate and show the world what he's really about. He's 38-0. He's not getting any younger. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, from the opponents that I've seen who had all those losses, he hasn't really fought no big name fighters, and he's towards the end of his career. It's time to get them big names out there, get them big paydays. Robert Easter's a young fighter, who's went out there and he fought the likes of Fortuna, which Fortuna should really show him that, hey, I ain't no punk. That little motherfucker, Fortuna is a little motherfucker who can fight. Fortuna has heart. And I think that him fighting that fight, he probably been in the gym a lot, learning from that fight. Because Fortuna showed him the real aspect of being an experienced fighter. And I think he realized that after that fight. He could say what he wanted to say after that fight. He said Fortuna was running and this, that, and other. But Fortuna was getting in your ass. Actually, I seen Fortuna hit you more times really than you hit him. Even in the inside, when you would try to come in on him, he would hit Robert Easter more. But, I could talk about who won that fight all day once again, but, I still have to give it to Robert Easter because he was the champion, and you had to clearly go out there and beat the champion. But it's Mikey Garcia's time to come out there and really show what he's about. He can't keep picking these no-name fighters, which he beat Lipinez and everything, but to me, Lipinez didn't have a chance against Mike Garcia. I think this man was a former soccer player, former kickboxer, one of those areas. He hasn't been in boxing that long, and look what he did to Mike Garcia's face. I mean, he made it look like Mike Garcia was in there with an elite fighter. And, I think that's what made Mike Garcia, let that belt go. Because he realized at that weight, he couldn't really deal with that type of... if he fought a guy who was only 13-0, 14-0, who fucked his face up like that, imagine what he'll do against an elite fighter who been boxing their whole life. And so I think he did a smart decision by probably dropping back down or move, come back to the weight class that he feels better at. Because going up in ranks like that and trying to fight other fighters who was not limping at somebody who got more fights, more experience, that would have been way worse for Mike Garcia. But in this fight, that reach going to be a motherfucker. The only way I see Robert Easter even having a chance against Mike Garcia is using that jab, staying back. When he does come in, he smothers them. And that by smother, I mean he holds them. When they get ready to let loose, he let shots off back up. Other than that, trying to outbox Mikey Garcia won't be the best thing for him. Because the only advantage to me he has is the jab. Because being technical, Mike Garcia got that shit down pat. Mike Garcia ain't no rookie. I just wish and I'm happy that he would step up to the plate and prove how great he is. Because I believe that he's a great fighter. A lot of people may say that Broner was gun shy or he was still thinking about the losses of that fight. It wasn't that he was gun shy. It was that Mike Garcia nullified everything that Broner would try to do. Like I said, when they were fighting, he kept putting that left up to block, not blocking him, but testing that right hand. He made him not want to throw it. Because in your head, you like, he waiting on me to throw this right hand. If I throw this right, he going to throw that left. You see what I'm saying? And that's what stopped Broner from really getting at Mike Garcia. It wasn't that Broner was gun shy or nothing like that. It was the fact that he realized that Mike Garcia was waiting on him to throw his right hand. But I can't wait to see this fight. They say it's going to happen in July, which I hate that when you had to talk about fights and then it happens so far away. I want to see the shit today. I really want to see the shit today. But I don't know when or whenever Mike Garcia may want to move up to 147. I really don't think he was gonna do that. I think he really was just saying that to put his name out there and be in the spotlight with the big names at 147. And as far as him going at Terrence Crawford, I want to fight Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford already said he used to whoop on that ass in the amateur, so I don't think he really want that fight against Terrence Crawford, even though Mike Garcia is the reason that we know of Terrence Crawford to this day. Bob Arum came to him and asked him, did he know of any fighters that he should sign? And he automatically told him, there's a guy named Terrence Crawford who used to give me hell in the amateurs. And so that's why we see Bud right now. But, in this fight, I really can't give a prediction on it. But if I had to give a prediction on it, just because of the reach factor, I would not give it to Robert Easter. Mike Garcia is too experienced, too technical, too smart in the ring for Robert Easter. And like I said, once Mike Garcia starts hitting Robert Easter in the face, Robert Easter, in my opinion, will switch and try to come in on Mike Garcia. And I think that's going to be his downfall. So even though it's a 50-50 fight, I still give the fight to Mike Garcia. Just on his superb boxing and his knowledge and his IQ and being in the ring. Robert Easter is still young, even though he fought Fortuna, and Fortuna probably put him up on the game as far as dealing with a fighter who is more experienced. I still don't see him being able to come out there and defeat Mike Garcia. So it's easy work boxing. Thank you for your time. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'm out. Please subscribe to the channel.